after death, we don't want to put up any kind of fight. That's the reason why I'm so impressed and so thankful for the doctors and the physicians that we've got in our country. Because you can be pronounced dead. And the little thing can flatline on you. Y'all know it. But some doctor is going to get what they call a defibrillator. And he's going to rub it together. And he's going to say, fire up. And then all of a sudden you'll jump. And there ain't no life in you. He'll say, fire up again. Jump. And if there's no life then, he'll say, fire up again. Jump. And he's going to keep doing it until life comes back because he believes that death ain't done.
Come on now, preach up.
He still feels like that there's a battle to be fought. He still believes there's a victory to be won. He still believes there's a testimony somewhere deep down in that. He still believes that you can go from to He believes that. The doctor believes that. That's why he works so hard. That's why he tries so long. That's why they fight so much. That's why the ambulance still flies even when they might say, I don't feel a pulse. And the light's still on. They still hustling to the hospital. Because they realize they can just get them to the hospital. They got a whole lot of help over there.
Amen.
They realize they can just get them to the hospital, that the Lord can do some miracles over there. They realize they can just get them into the house of the Lord. There can be some miracles there. But oftentimes, we shut everything down at the first sign of death. Now, here's a doctor. Might not know God, but he understands that you can have life after death.
All right now.
Here's a paramedic. May not know any kind of scriptures, but they understand that there can be life after death. But somebody in here now is still got your head down because of a blessing that died that you too scared to revive.
All right now.
Slide me back. When God begins to deliver you, you've got to realize that it's not going to be an easy task. When he starts doing great things in your life, you've got to realize that it's not always going to come howdy, and easy as cake. It's not going to be easy as pie, baby. Sometimes when God blesses you, he puts you in a position where you got to fight for what belongs to you. Death is not done. And we stop fighting, we stop hoping, we stop believing, we stop trying. We start giving up and saying, well, I guess it wasn't meant for me to have it. Well, everything ain't meant for everybody anyway. But it was fun while it lasted. But all good things must come to an end. So I'm gonna just go and be happy with what I did have. It's folk that's worse off than me. I mean, ain't no use in me complaining. If I complain, what good would it do? Well, no, it might not be a reason for you to complain, but it is a reason for you to stand up and fight. Amen. It is a reason for you to say, no, devil, you're not going to take this from me. And devil, you might have killed it, and you might have destroyed it, and you might have messed it up, but I serve a God who told me these words, I am the resurrection and the life. And no man cometh to the Father but by me. I serve a living God that let me know that even when the world says it's over, that don't mean that it's over for God. Now, let me tell you what this woman was doing. The first point I wanted you to understand was don't be afraid of death. That death is not done. For my note takers, I apologize, note takers, I've been moving kind of fast. That death is not done. The second thing that I want you to remember is that death is the beginning of your battle. Death is not the time to have a funeral procession. Death is not the time to start getting obituaries drafted. See, we treat spiritual death like we treat natural death, We don't really fight when things die naturally. How many people in here like dogs and cats? Okay, dogs and cats. Now, how many folk gonna touch a dog or cat dead in the street? See, not many folk raise their hand with that one. See, y'all up in the food with that. Because usually death in the physical means it is done. But in the spiritual, it does not mean that. It means that the battle has just begun. Now, see, some of y'all did not have grandparents from the country like I did. My papa could be driving down the street. Never will forget one time he was driving down the street and a possum had just got hit. In fact, it was still rolling. And, quenching and everything. And my papa hit the brake. I said, Papa, what's the matter? He says, a possum back there. And I think it just got killed. I think you just died. And he got out the car and said, come on, Mark, it's apostle. And so, now my papa, he was a tough man, so you just couldn't act like no wimp around papa because he didn't play that, you know. He said, see, the way you can tell if a possum just died, here, feel his neck right here. Feel up under his neck right here. Now I'm in level. Feel up under his neck right here. My papa said, do it. I had to touch it. He said, see, is he feeling anything? I said, kind of feel like he got a little bit of a pulse, papa, you know. I took my hand off of it, you know. Papa picked the possum up by his hind leg and hit his head up against the concrete. If he was alive, he's dead now. He threw the possum in the back of the pickup truck, and we got back in the car, and he said, we're going to eat good tonight, boy. Because the Lord has blessed us with a possum. And sure enough, he cooked it, and we ate it. Well, I said all that to say that sometimes the devil does to your blessings what that car did to the possum. And it makes you feel like it's all over. But it's still a feast after that death is gone. Fly me down right here. See, it's still some good news after that's all gone. See, because you can understand that death is the beginning of your meal, of your dinner, right? Because a cow had to die before you could eat them barbecue ribs.
That's right.
A pig had to die before you could eat them pig feet and neck bones. A chicken had to die before you could go get your stuff at Popeye. So with everything else in life, death did not mean the end. Death just meant the beginning. So if that's the case, when your blessing die, that's not where you stop, baby. That's where you start. That's where you start. Now this woman did these things right here. She said, well, let me do this. Let me do something because I am going to fight to maintain my blessing. So when the boy died in the lap, she didn't dig no grave.
All right.
When the boy died in the lap, she didn't call nobody in and talk about the funeral procession. She didn't say get Spencer on the line or D&D, none of that kind of stuff. When the boy died, she put him where the man of God